Go, y'all.
Your show now, press 1.
We alright, let's go.
Since it appears you're
Right
calling back into a live
about
show,
now.
we are reconnecting you now.
Drop. Family first. We talk about the family. We talking about the fam now. And it's about to go down. Urban Therapy with Son, and I am Son, and we going to do the thing on the one. Everything is going to be all right, cause I said so, and I'm gonna try to make sure that that's the way it go. Everything is going to be all right, and everything is going to be all right. Take your time, and everything is going to be all right, and everything is going to be all right. Let's push forward now. Urban Therapy with Son on this Sunday morning, baby. It is the 1st of August. The real Leos kick in now. Yo, I want to thank all the July Leos for holding it down and kicking in the door and getting rid of all of that residue. But now it's time to keep it 100 and keep it tight true. So the real birthdays start right now. You know what I'm saying? Up until the 22nd. Yes. But aside from that, we talking about the way my family is set up. So we're gonna talk about the way that our families are set up, literally and figuratively. So, you know how people say that the middle child is always the misfit, but I've been hearing lately, and I don't know if y'all are familiar with this, but a lot of people have been saying that the second child is normally the one that's most expressive, the one that's not putting up with the BS now. So I want to see how y'all think about that. And if y'all are anything, do you come from the type of family where you can easily count which one is first, which one is second? Are you in a family where the structure is easily countable, or are you in a family structure where you kind of have to say, well, I'm the first out of mine, but not the first out of everybody? So we're going to get into that a little bit more, the oldest and the youngest. I've also heard it said that in most families, the oldest probably should have been the youngest, and the youngest should have been the oldest. See what y'all think about that. And that's an interesting thing right there. So we can get into that for real. And not only that, whatever number that you come in, whatever you have going on in your peeps, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all that, y'all. We're going to get all that. Feel me? So, So, if you come from a family where it was just the nuclear family, the mama and the daddy and the kids and the dog and the cats and the whatever, or if you come from a type of family where your mom might have had kids before she met your dad might have had kids before you met your mom, they came together, but it wasn't the Brady Bunch, but y'all had a way of eating and enjoy your lunch. Well, we're going to get into it. So let's get into it without any further ado. Urban Therapy with Son 752 with this, the Urban Therapy with Son show. We do this every single Sunday from 11 a.m. till around 12:30-ish. And the reason that we say 12:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is Sunday, baby. Yeah. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, bust it up with each other, go back and forth all crazy. Well, actually, we go back and forth and bust it up all crazy. It's all good. It's all good. We play on the monkey bars, the swings, push each other up the sliding board. We play on in the sandbox, on the merry-go-round and in the sandbox. We take an introspective look into our own behavior and our personality and see how the universe projects us into this thing called life and in this world. I am your host, Son 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. It is the Urban Therapy with Son show, and I am so blessed and so glad to be with y'all right now. So we talking about the way that my family is set up. The way that my family is set up. And every family that I know is set up in a particular way. Even if there are similarities from one family to another family, you will see distinct differences because of the way that things work. Like, for example, let's say you come from the type of family where where it's just straight nuclear family. Mom, dad, mom, dad, kids, straight like that. No extended family members. It doesn't necessarily mean that your parents came from that type of setting. You understand what I mean? Your mom and your dad may have come from a situation, for example, where the mama and the daddy were not married. And maybe that was their motivation for making sure that they kept their nuclear family structure straight: mom, dad, kids, pets. They may have had that motivation because they never had that. A lot of people feel that way. Well, my mom and my dad weren't married, or they weren't together, so I wanted to make sure that mine was together. People fight hard for that. People fight hard, tooth and nail, for that. We touched on that a little bit yesterday, but today we're going to really, really get into it. Or it could have been a situation where even if the parents were married before, maybe it was a situation like what I was describing a few minutes ago when I was saying that, it could have been a situation where even if your parents were married, each of them or one of them had children beforehand. It can make things difficult in the beginning. It can make things difficult in the middle. It can make things difficult in the end, especially when you have a situation where people don't respect the way that your family is set up. And I guess it bears the question, do you respect the way that your family is set up? Do you respect the way that your family is set up? We have a lot of different families in this world now. In the Black community, we are extremely used to our mothers being the head of our households in absence of fathers not being there. But that's the way our family is set up. Whether you like it or not, whether you respect it or not, they have to be acknowledged. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that women are the head of their households, and many women are doing pretty good in that role. That's probably not the role that they sketched up when things first happened, when they started to materialize, but that's what they're working with, and they're doing the best that they can. And I'm going to say shout out to all the single mothers out there doing the best they can. How can I as a man be pissed off at a woman that's doing the best that she can? Maybe she went to school, maybe she got a good job, maybe she is forced to have to hold the family down financially. Maybe she even has to give out all the instructions on how to be a lady and how to be a man. Sure, we like to say that a woman can't raise a boy to be a man, and I think that that's 100% true. But that doesn't mean that she can't show a young man how a man is supposed to act, especially towards a woman. So the way those families are set up is a little different than the way the nuclear family was set up. So we can talk about it. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. We can talk about it right now. Are y'all with me on this? Are you down? I hope you are, y'all. Yeah, all y'all. We gonna do this thing. Keep it 100+ talk. Sucre chez toi. All up in the house. Sucre JTX. What's going on, man? Good to see me, some you. And also Carol Chamberlain, me favorita. What's going on, my? Thanks for coming on through. Auntie Carrie, right? Morning, noon, and night. I'm always glad to have my peoples going right in your sight. And my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing. Max and chill, do your thing, kid. And all of y'all, did you hear about what happened last night? I chill. My big sis, Robin Ming, doing a thing. She's something like a queen for a king. And Emily Dunlap in the house. I said it, Emily. And who we got here? Layla Harris. What's going on, Layla? Thanks for coming on by. I haven't seen you around here before, but I'm glad that you came down here right now. And welcome to our little family, because this is something like, the way this thing is. You'll start to see what's good. All right. So Carol Chamberlain says, in my family, the oldest should have been the youngest. See, I've heard that said in a lot of different scenarios. I've heard that. And let me ask you this, Carol. Is that saying what I'm thinking, which is, are we saying that the oldest didn't take on the proper responsibility to bring the younger ones up or to set a decent example? Are we saying that? And are we saying that the youngest was the one that stepped up to the plate, is maybe a go-getter out there leading the way, even though they leading the way from the back? Are we saying that? Well, we gonna see about all that. I mean, but yeah, if you could clarify that for me a little bit, I appreciate it. And by the way, if y'all would like to call into the show, I invite y'all to call into the show. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. 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 319-527-6199, baby. Urban Therapy with Son, all up in your area. The hood is our health. That's our motto. The hood is our health, baby. And you can't stop that. No. The hood is our health. So let's get it popping. By the way, make sure that y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. Make sure that you share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Son show. Are we having some technical difficulties? Why do I see these numbers dropping all crazy? Are we all right? Are we all right? Do we have our Wi-Fi? Are we projecting right? I see that the mic is working. The mic is working. So I guess we okay. I guess they don't want me to get conceited over here. Like, yeah. We all up in here. But whatever, man. All right. Emily says, I'm the sixth born, was the baby of the family for a while. Then 6 years later, I have a younger brother. People still look at me as the baby of the family sometimes, though, but I'm not. I see. Wow. Well, how about that, Emily? Done lap in the house. Say, Emily, done lap in the house. Robbie Ming says, in my family, I am the youngest from my mom's marriage. Now we about to say something. I had 2 siblings older than me and 3 younger than me, but I am the backbone of the family. I'm glad you started opening it up. My big sis, Robin Ming, she said, I am the youngest from my mom's marriage. See, a lot of us, our families are set up so it's like you might be the youngest between your mom and your dad, but you might not be the youngest overall. Like, for example, I'm the youngest from my mom and my dad's marriage, like Robin Ming, but I'm not the youngest overall. And I want to talk a little bit today about children who come way after all of the other children are grown. Because how does that fit in? How does that work? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, for example, my father had his last child at age 60. He had his first child at like 20. Do you understand? Do you underdig? Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the kids. Last child at 60 years old. First child at like around 20 years old. 20, 21, somewhere under 25. let's put it more that way. Somewhere between 20 and 25 is when he had my oldest brother, Victor. So Victor is a lot older than me by at least 10 years. At least. The very least 10 years. I think more than that. Maybe like Vic might have me by about maybe 13 or 14. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look into that. But my oldest sister from my mom and my dad is 8 years older than me. Seven and some good months. But my youngest brother was born in 1997, the same year that my last niece was born. Do you understand what I'm saying? My last brother was born in the same year that my last niece was born from my mom and my dad's marriage. Let's get that, cleared up. So my youngest niece is older than my youngest brother by a few months. She was born in June. He was born in October. You see how this goes? So what I'm asking y'all is when you have, I was 27 when my youngest brother was born. 27. A whole 27. So are we even in the same generation? Now, the generations are supposed to be the children of parents. So my grandparents is one generation. My parents is another generation. My brothers and sisters are another generation. And then everyone who comes, our children are another generation. Then, our grandkids, great. You understand what I mean? But for me to be 27, old enough, more than old enough to be my brother's father, are we in the same generation? How do y'all look at that? If somebody could clarify that situation for me, I'd appreciate it. And I'm not the only one I know who has that situation. Y'all might have it going on like that. Plenty of people that I know are in this situation. So, but so needless to say, we're not from the same era, but are we from the same generation? You know what I mean? When my oldest sister was born, my youngest brother, there wasn't even hip hop music. There wasn't even techno, hip hop, none of that shit. Garage band, none of that. Grunge, no. So how does the youngest, that far young, how do they connect with the older ones? Is there a connection? Should there be an expectation of a connection there? I need y'all to talk to me, rap to me, give me some clarity. I just want to know right now. Talk to me. T. Carey Wright says every 25 years is a different generation. No, I don't know, because physically a generation has everything to do with your placement. And as far as grandparents, parents, siblings, children, that's what a generation. That's why they say here are 4 generations of a family. They're talking about a great grandmother, a grandmother, a mother, and a grandchild. 4 generations. So I'm asking y'all, because y'all might know. I'm struggling right now. Regina 657, thanks for coming on through. Gina, Oh, Gina. Okay. Emily says, out of the 7 of us, my oldest sister, which is the third born, we all go to her for things regardless of what it is. Okay. Robbie Ming says, my siblings are ages 68, 67, 58, 54, and 50. All right, so you got 18 years difference there. We are all grown in my eyesight. So when they call me, I tell them, I say we are all grown. Well, yeah, if the youngest one is 50, ain't no babies there. They might be the baby brother or the baby sister, but they ain't no baby. I'll be 51 in 2 weeks. So I'm well aware that ain't no baby. Damn, actually, it's next week, ain't it? This is some bullshit. This the bullshit. But yeah, see, the way that my family is set up, everybody has a different structure. Everybody has a different way that their family is set up. And although some people may not respect the way that their family is set up and they may not agree with the way that their family is set up, those decisions were made by parents above your pay grade. You were not there. You were not there when the mamas and the daddies made their own plans and went forward with what they thought and how they felt that family should be structured. So I'm going to say it like this. And this is going to punch some people in the chest. It's going to hit some people in the heart, and it's going to go upside some people's heads. You can feel how you want to feel about what dad did to mom, and whether he cheated and had babies or got married, or whatever you consider to be trifling or whatever. You can always take your mother's side or your daddy's side if your mom was the trifling one. But guess what? Whatever they did and however they did it, that's part of you. Yes, you may not choose to go down that path or make those same decisions and choices. But guess what? You sure have the potential to. You sure have the potential to. And regardless of how any of those things went down, they happen. And we have to deal with them right now. Many of us don't like that fact. And we say, well, no, I don't have to deal with none of that shit. I'm not fucking with him. I'm not fucking with her. I'm not fucking with them. I get it. I do. But they're here. They're here nonetheless. So just because you close your eyes, it does not make anybody invisible. Believe me, I've tried. Where the mic at? Yeah, just because you close your eyes, nothing becomes invisible. So although children try to say that, look, I'm invisible, look, because I can't see you, it really works the other way around. So yeah, we got to deal with that. You don't have to actively like or love your family members or the way that your family is set up. But we're here to talk about the way that your family is set up, regardless of whether you like it, like yours personally or not. And it's not because I don't empathize or sympathize with the pain of the way that your family may be set up. But to your credit, take solace in the fact that you didn't make those decisions. You only made your own decisions. You didn't make the decisions above you, and you're not responsible for those decisions. You may take responsibility for the result of those decisions if that's your choice, but you are not responsible for the decisions that got made. Those decisions got made in spite of you, in lieu of you, and without involving you. So, see, the way my family is set up, By the way, if y'all would like I said, if y'all would like to call into the show, 319-527-6199. That's the number. 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak. Press number 1. Press number 1. All right. T. Carey Wright says, regardless of whether or not he's 2 years younger or 27 years younger, he should be relatable on the strength that he's your baby brother. I don't know about that. I think he should be loved and acknowledged, but relatable? I don't know. It's a totally different era. Totally different realm of thought. Yeah, I don't think that that's a given. I don't think that's automatic that he'll be relatable. No. I don't know about that one. I don't know about when you see the younger ones in my family and you see the older ones, there are major differences. You see differences. Of course, there are similarities because there is hereditary information there, but there are clear differences. Clear differences. Robbie Robin Ming says, it was 5 generations of us until my mom died. 5 generations. Wow. Carol Chamberlain says, our ages now are 74, 72, and me 67, almost 68. And trust me, everything is dropped in my lap. So I feel you, Robin, but they don't seem to think we all grown. How about that? Carol says, man, I wish I could be invisible sometimes. Man, do you know, like, Carol, do you know, are you sure what you would do if you could actually be invisible for, let's say you could be invisible for a week. What would you do? Are you prepared for that? Have you thought deeply about it? Like, yo, so you mean they totally can't see me? Can they hear me? Do I still have to creep around, or am I going to creep around and scare the shit out of these motherfuckers? Have them going crazy on some ghost shit. T. Carey Wright says, big brothers and sisters have a responsibility to pass on wisdom. Oh, no, I don't deny that. I don't deny that. It doesn't mean that you're relatable. That's what I question. Yeah. I mean, big brothers and sisters of that age, like I said, are old enough to be your parents. So, of course, they should pass on the wisdom. Shit, I mean, like I said, I was 27 when my baby brother was born. I'm a full-grown man. Like, ain't no way around it. Not a teenager, 27. All the way. So, no, the love is absolutely there. But you have to take some things into consideration. And forget about me for a second, but I'll use my people as an example. Damn. I'm thinking like, damn, if I was 27 when my baby brother was born, that means my oldest sister was well into her 30s, like 34 when he was born. Like, what the fuck? You know, she's old enough to have grandchildren of her own. Word up. Of course, we tease people about the 35-year-old grandmother. Let your mom have a baby at age 15 or 16. At 35, that's 20 years later. She's still well within childbearing years. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Nah, I'm talking about. But yeah. So, all right. If I'm 27 years his senior, the things that are going to be, all right, how can I put this? because hardly any of the physical things are there. He grew up in a he grew up in an era where we didn't have a home, where home phones were about to become a thing of the past. He came at the end of a home phone, pay phones, things like that. Black and white TVs. He don't know nothing about that. 1997, they wasn't selling black and white TVs no more. No, they wasn't. He don't know nothing about that. He don't know nothing about a TV where you have to physically change the channel. He don't know nothing about that. Mm-mm. 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 So, and like I said, those are just physical things. You know, if you want to talk about the social atmosphere, and like he grew up in the internet age, he doesn't know an era that did not have the internet. He doesn't know what it's like to make a long distance call. He does not know what it's like to make a long distance call. No such thing. No such thing. So there, of course, we have to teach him, but we're going to learn so much more from him about the way he's going to develop. Because the plan that you may have had for people who grew up in your era, you're going to have to switch it, flip it, and bounce it to relate to people growing up in his era. It's different. It's different. Methods are going to have to be adjusted. They're going to have to be changed. Even if the physical part may change, but the mental part may remain pretty much intact. But yeah, passing down wisdom is something I agree with. But socially, I don't think that they can be expected to be on the same page. Somebody who was born in the mid-90s, late 90s, or the 2000s. Okay, hold on. All right. We wasn't dealing with all that gay shit that today's generation has to deal with. We just didn't have to deal with that. There was no, they was tagging us with the little gay shit. They was playing around with us with the little gay shit. But the gay people on TV were just sissies. They wasn't outright gay when we were coming up. Now they are gay as hell. And you're not going to get a TV show or a movie that doesn't reflect that. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that. We got that. They didn't mush it in our face like that. Especially if the era in the movie or the TV show wasn't set in a major city where you had to reflect some of the urban activity that was going on. But what I really want to say to y'all is this. You got to think that when you were born, if you are 20 years your youngest sibling's senior, when you were born, your parents, they may have been together, or the way that they were structured was one thing. 20 years later, you're not expecting your parents to still be having children. So you might be dealing with a situation where more than likely it ain't your mom that's having the baby 27 years later. It could be. Don't get me wrong. It could be. But women have a biological clock. Men don't. So if your father, for example, had you when he was 25, and then 27 years later, he has another child, the likelihood that he's dealing with somebody that's his age is 0. 0 fucking row. The likelihood that he's dealing with somebody of childbearing age who is more than likely multiple digits, his junior is high, extremely high. It's damn near guaranteed you're gonna get that. So you're gonna have to deal with how you feel about that, because you might not like it. You might be okay with it, but a lot of times you're not gonna like it, especially if you're a woman. You might feel some kind of way about that, like, if your dad is messing around with a woman that's somewhere around your age and she pregnant, and you like, you understand? So it ain't sweet like that. So as easy as we might just try to blow it off. And here's another thing. Because women take this thing, they seem to take this a lot more personally than men do. Like, the youngest boy is the youngest boy. You can have whoever, if a younger child comes after the youngest boy, he like, all right, well, whatever. But girls, they get a little different. The youngest girl in a lot of situations wants to remain the youngest girl, especially if, like Emily was saying, they was the youngest girl for a long time. And then, your dad go and have another little girl. It's like, yo, what the fuck? Hey, yo, I'm the baby girl. Yeah. See, the way my family is set up. See, the way my family is set up. See, the way that my family is, see. Do y'all know what I'm talking about now? Do you feel where I'm coming from? I have seen women really, throw a fit over not being the youngest girl no more. They don't like that shit. You can feel how you want to feel about it. They feel differently. They feel rad differently. You know what I'm saying? Rad. It's rad. So, yeah. So, this is the Urban Therapy with Son show. For my people just coming through, I appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that you share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We are talking about, the way my family is set up. Should the oldest have been the youngest? We're gonna have to have a little conversation about that middle child thing. Or from what I've been hearing lately, that second child. I used to hear about the middle child all the time, but I've been hearing some rumblings about the second child. I don't know if y'all have heard anything about that, but let me know. T. Carey Rice says, I'm not talking about y'all going to the club together. Okay, cool. No, so it says, I drive some people to the rough house if I were invisible. I hear that. Man, listen. Carol said their whole world would be crushed if I was invisible. Robbie Ming says, I have to remind my older sister that she is older than me. The older siblings younger than me always say that you are the older sister. I tell them, no, I'm not. Don't put that on me. Carol Chamberlain says, it makes me so crazy that the oldest one call me and ask, sis, what should I do about whatever? Hey, listen, baby girl. Your perspective, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny because a lot of times the youngest one is a product of the mature sperm, the more mature eggs. and the youngest one gets a lot of attention. The youngest one gets the benefit of having all the knowledge that they didn't have when they had the other children, especially if the children are far apart. So let's say y'all 10 years apart, 15, let's say 15 years apart. You know, your dad was a different man 15 years ago, more than likely, than he is now. So everything that he's learned, that knowledge, wisdom, understanding, the methods that he has employed since he had you, the youngest is going to get the benefit of that. People be wondering, how come grandparents don't be whooping their grandkids' ass the way that they were so quick to whoop their children's ass? By the time the grandchildren come along, them grandparents realize whooping ass ain't work with you. I ain't gonna try that same dumb shit with them. Plus, my grandkids not rebellious. They rebellious towards you, but they show me respect. When a baby is fresh out the womb, you know how babies, they get familiar with your scent, your smell. That's all they have. They can't communicate through language, so your scent is what they go on a lot of times. They go for the smell. So the scent of the grandparents may be different from the scent of the parents and scent of siblings and aunts, uncles, and other random people outside of the family or inside of the family. There may be something really deep and spiritual about that. I know my mom really believes in babies smelling, babies and their sense of smell. Hold on. I see we have a caller on the line. Before I bring you on, I'm gonna look up this little baby thing. The baby. See what we can find out. Okay. Why baby's sense of smell is important. Okay, let's see. See what they're talking about with this. What is a scent? They say the nose knows. This couldn't be truer for your newborn. Their sense of smell is not just incredibly strong, but it helps them learn about people and places and guides the development of their other senses. Wow. Did y'all hear that? It says, they say the nose knows. This couldn't be truer for your newborn. Their sense of smell is not just incredibly strong, but it helps them learn about people and places and guides their development of their senses. Babies have a very strong sense of smell. Babies are born with all senses, but they vary in strength. Their sense of smell is one of the strongest and will continue to get stronger for the first 8 years of their life. It is also essential. It is an essential sense to help them feel comforted and promote the development of their other senses, especially taste and vision. Their sense of smell develops in the womb. For baby, their sense of smell begins to develop before they are even born. Nostrils form in the first trimester, and scent receptors form by the second trimester. In the womb, baby breathes in the mother's amniotic fluid, which helps them to become familiar with scent, specifically their mother's scent. They recognize people, places, and things by their scent. Baby's vision is still developing after birth. So they recognize people and places by their scent. That means that when you hold your baby or enter their room, they may recognize you not by how you look, but how you smell. When you bring them to their favorite place, their room, the car, etc., or give them their favorite toy, they recognize it by their sense of smell. If you mask your scent, they may not feel as comforted by you. If you can, use the same shampoo and deodorant around your baby. Additionally, as they meet new people, they may become upset if they don't like a certain scent. Well, ain't that about it? Ain't that something? All the party people say, isn't he something? Okay. Robbie Ming says the gays were undercover when I came up. I used to ask mom, why are these men wearing curls? She would say, shut up. Carol Chambers says that, Robin, I came up in the era of men wearing processes, so you really didn't know they were gay, like Little Richard. Yeah, that's true. Yo, but Carol, all right, because you were born and raised in Philly, back in the day, did men from Philly wear their hair processed? Did we wear perms? You know, because we used to, the West Coast and down south, them cats wearing perms and stuff, but I never saw a Philly cat with a perm. Jerry Curl back in the day, in the 80s, yeah, but a straight, straightening hair perm. I ain't seen none of that. All right. Carol says, when my mom was alive, yes, I took over because she could no longer do anything. No one else would step up. So I really think that I am doing my mom's job. Not, oh, really? So wait. So I really think that I am still doing my mom's job. Not, I don't know. Carol says, maybe that's why they say when they are newborn, that latch on to a mother's breast for feeding, they latch onto. Yeah, maybe. She says, yes, my brothers did, and when my mom was alive, she hit the ceiling. Okay. All right, we're going to take caller with the last numbers 8884. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Son Show. Thank you for holding. What is on your mind this morning? Well, I guess it's afternoon now.
Good afternoon to you too.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. You sounding real bright, sunny, and spry on this cloudy day. What's good?
It's a happy Sunday.
The happiest of them all? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
God is good all the time.
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to say
Won't he do it?
about this, about our siblings and them. A lot of them, we were all raised just about the same way. Okay. Me and my brother and sister, we came from a marriage, and my mother had 3 other kids behind us. Okay, after us. My oldest brother is deceased. So me and my sister are the only 2 from the marriage that's left.
Okay.
But the youngest ones, they still are coming to me. And I have to constantly remind them, I am not the oldest. When my mother was alive and my mother, started getting sick and couldn't do nothing, nobody didn't really want to step up and do nothing. So they take over, They didn't want to take her to a doctor. You know, they didn't want to do things. So I was the one that did that. My mom was living with me. They would come over there.
That's right.
They would ask me, "Oh, mommy doesn't want this. What should I do?" What? You don't know what to do? No. And then my brother, he was going into, "Oh, mom." He would call me the mean girl. "Oh, your mean daughter said, no, you can't have it." Because my mother wanted a beer, but she didn't want to eat her breakfast or take her medicine. No, you have to take your medicine and you have to eat. And then maybe we'll see what we're going to do.
Wait, you said she wanted a beer?
But with them, yeah, my mother still likes to drink beer.
Okay, no, I'm just making sure I understood what you. I just wanted to make sure I understood what you were saying.
Yeah, beer. We would take her out like for Mother's Day, birthday, Valentine's Day, and we would eat. And she would always ask for a beer. That was because at home she barely got a beer.
Okay.
We were making sure that we were getting rid of her sugar. We were taking her off her sugar. So we had her on a strict diet, mainly with baked foods and boiled foods.
Okay.
Not too many fried foods, and plenty of water, once in a while we gave her juice, stuff like that. She loved fish. These people here, I call them these people here, they're still calling me. They're still calling me. I don't have to tell them. Y'all are all grown. Mommy's not here no more. Okay? Every man for himself.
Mm-hmm.
What are you calling me for? I'm not your mother. So I'm like, if I was to, like Carol said, disappear off the earth or be invisible, they would be lost and turned out. They wouldn't know what to do.
Well, let me ask you this: when you are fully grown adult, over 30, over 40 years old, does it even matter who's the oldest or youngest? Can't you get wisdom and experience from any of y'all? Or
it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Okay.
It shouldn't.
All right. Well, if
not at all.
If it shouldn't, okay. Are you saying it shouldn't matter? It shouldn't matter who's the oldest or the youngest? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
What I'm saying is, okay, with siblings, once you turn over 30, you should be able to me, you're grown.
Right.
Uh-huh. So what's the problem?
Well, what I'm asking you, yeah. But what I'm asking you is, if it doesn't matter who's the oldest or the youngest, then them coming to you for wisdom and guidance and all of that, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, because a lot of them at that age in their 30s and stuff, they were too busy out there. We were out there, we were partying and stuff, but I was learning things. Okay. I was getting wisdom. When my grandmother died, and I think I was in my 20s, me and my oldest cousin and our parents, we all went to the funeral home.
Uh-huh.
And my parents showed us what we were to do, if they were ever to die. So we were taught, everybody was taught this. Everybody was taught knowledge. Everybody was, nobody was really stupid. Everybody knew what to do in any situation.
Okay.
But then it seemed like all of a sudden, everybody started getting dumb. And didn't know what to do. I mean, my mom had a colostomy bag on the side of her. My sisters, they would come to my house and they would say, well, how do you put it on? Well, I literally showed them 3-4 times how to do it.
Uh-huh.
And what to do. My youngest sister stood up there one day with a ShopRite bag and her nose turned and had a can of Lysol. And I said to her, "How you got Lysol for?" "Oh, because her shit stinks." I said, "Well, tell me somebody whose shit smell like rose."
Okay.
And my mother, she knew who wouldn't mind taking care of her, cleaning her and all that. And she knew the ones who really didn't want to, So I used to tell them, y'all aren't going to do nothing. Hey, you my enemy coming over.
Uh-huh.
My older sister and my younger sister, they would come over. I lived across the street from that table lot. They would come in there 15 minutes, see my mother. "Oh, we'll be back." They're going on table lot to go shopping. "What do we need you for?" "What?"
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. All right. So let me get this straight. All right. With all of your brothers and sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you said your youngest.
4 girls, 2 boys.
Wait a minute. Now you said that your youngest sibling is what, 50, 51 or something like that?
No, she's 54.
54. Okay. 54. So okay. All right. So there's a double digit difference between the two of y'all. But have you do you consider yourself to be able to relate to her?
My sister under me, at her age, my sister, all she's really now is basically all about her. Some mornings they'll send me, I told you I don't talk to them.
Okay.
I might reach out to see how they're doing. But as far as having a long conversation, going shopping and doing things like sisters should do, we're not like that.
Yeah.
My 3 sisters, they're all in, I call them the 3 Stooges, because I've always been left out. To me, I've always been an odd child. That's to me. My oldest brother, he was named after my father. My oldest sister was named after her mother. Where do I come in at? But I was the one that was, to me, the strongest one. And then, so I don't know. And then my sister, then I have a sister that's 10 years younger than me. All she thinks about is, she's supposed to be a Christian. All she thinks about is wearing tight dresses and meeting men and working. If you do your applications in 30 days,
well, yeah, I guess she still got a lot of that feminine energy in her. She's still, let's just say she hasn't given up yet.
Okay, so when do these people grow up?
Well, I mean, her still looking for love. You don't think that that's grown?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that you should. Maybe this is me. Maybe I'm old fashioned. Maybe I'm still back in the day. But I don't believe in hunting down no man, looking for no man.
Okay. All right, but then
I'm not going to question no man.
I understand that. I understand that. I mean, but there may be different ways to so-called hunt down a man. For her, it may be it may not be hunting. It may just be actively making sure that she makes herself available and trying to take advantage of any opportunities to make a love connection that she sees fit.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but all the love connections that she has made, a couple of them have died.
Oh.
Yes. And I'm not, Lord forgive me, but what we call her is the Black Widow Spider.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, that.
I understand. I do.
My thing is, Omar, when you're those ages, mentally, you should be grown. Your mind, okay? In your mind, you should be grown. You know, your mind should have matured at those ages.
Uh-huh.
But to me, they haven't.
Okay.
So it's like, well, I'm going to call Robin and I'm going to ask her this and I'm going to ask her that. Y'all was wrong. Google it. My sister asked me something one day. I said, do you have a smartphone? He said, yeah. I said, well, why do you think they call it a smartphone? Just to talk on it. I said, go on it. Google things. You'll find things. Okay? Or go pick up a dictionary.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I have things going on in my life also. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Two of my great friends, they're going to have babies, you know, and I have a lot going on with me, so I can't put my immediately and those great grands. One of them is my daughter who died. One of them is her daughter. She's 29. It's just his baby, and she doesn't know nothing. So I have to fool her. You know, I have things that going on in my life, but nobody believes that I do.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now hold on. We got another call on the line, but before I go to the next caller, I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you had to take any notice of who the middle child in your family is, or the second child? Have you noticed any personality differences going on with them that may be different from any of the rest of the family?
The only one that I see, it would be me and my brother. He's the other baby. The two of us, we are, I'm going to say this song, you know, with him and me, all our nieces and nephews call us aunt, uncle. They respect us. The rest of them, they call my sisters. They call them by their first name, you know. And it's all right with my sisters and them, but it's not all right with me, you know. So my youngest brother, yeah, he would come after me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I don't know if it had to do with him being in the army and, you know, whatever. But, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But the rest of them, they just lost in the fall.
Let me ask you this. What is your number placement in your family? Like, which number are you?
Number placement. Huh?
Which number are you? Are you number one? Like, in order of, I know that you are the youngest in your mom's first marriage, right?
Yeah.
What number are you overall?
1.
1?
Mm-hmm.
How are you number 1?
What do you mean?
Like,
Wait.
I'm talking about in order of when y'all were born.
Oh, in order, we were born, I told you, it was my oldest brother, my oldest sister, me.
Just
Then
give
I
me the
have
number.
two
Is that
sisters
3? So you're number 3.
Yeah, I'm number 3. I'm
Okay.
the baby of the marriage.
All right. So all right, you're number 3. All right.
Mhm.
All right. So what's the last number?
The last number is 6.
6. Okay, I got it now. All right, hold on a second. We got another call on the line.
Okay.
Caller with the last number is 8658. Welcome to the Urban Therapy with Sun show. Thank you for holding. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind this afternoon?
Hi. I was just listening to this, and you were asking about, the youngest, the oldest. I am number 7 of 7.
Okay.
We had 3 of us left. Out of the 3, the oldest is 74. The next one who is alive will be 72 in November.
Okay.
I will be 68 in February. Now, I've somehow been given this responsibility to handle all the family business, including health problems, deaths, anything that comes up. It's always call her first. What should I do? Now, that kind of bothers me because, we're all older. We all do have health problems. But one of the ones, the second youngest of the 2 brothers that are still here, is this free spirit. He doesn't care about nothing. He's got health problems. He had a stroke. This boy got stents in his head, and he still drinks. He still wants to do whatever he wants to do. But if he gets sick or somebody thinks that he's in jeopardy of any sort, like my oldest brother does, he doesn't go see on him. He calls me. I think we need to go see about him. What do you mean we? If you know, go see and then call me. But I honestly think that the youngest child sometimes gets dumped on the most.
Okay.
For instance, just being that. Now, I did have an older sister. She was in her 40s. I was 14 when she died. My very oldest brother was...
Wait a minute. Wait. She was in her 40s and you were 14?
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Yeah. My father's oldest son by his first marriage. When he died in 1985, my brother was 66 or 67. Then it was my sister by his second marriage.
Okay.
Now, he married my mother. She gave him 4 boys and me.
Okay.
So I'm the youngest of all 7 because in our family, there's no such thing as a half brother.
No doubt.
We were not allowed to speak those words.
Right.
We're brothers and sisters.
Right.
And it's just crazy. It's crazy. My mother and my sister were actually very close in age. My mother died when she was 40. My sister died, she was 42, but my mother had been dead for quite a while. So they weren't too far away in age. It wasn't like Daddy was looking for a new mom for his daughter, because she had a mother still living.
So,
but they were kind of close in age.
So, what I'm hearing here.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
No, I ain't saying that. I ain't trying to hear all that. What I'm saying is this. Because back in the day,
90 seconds.
Back in the day, it seems like men was still virile, well into they older years. These men nowadays,
It's in the food.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying? It's true. Like back in the
It
day,
is.
these older cats was still getting it in. These
60 seconds.
these I be hearing women complaining nowadays, dudes in their 40s and early 50s already done.
Yeah,
What's up with that?
yeah. I have no idea. I have no idea. My
Yeah,
dad,
that shit
I was
crazy.
19 months old, and my dad was 56. This is my biological father.
Mm-hmm.
He was 56 when he died, and I was 19 months old. You do the math. He was still making babies in his 50s.
Yeah. Hey, well, you should easily be able to do that, but I'm hearing stories out there, and I
I'm telling you, it's in the food. It's in the food.
10 seconds.
I think
You know,
I
back
think
in the
it's
day, people didn't eat processed food.
I think it's too much weed. I think it's cigarettes and cigarettes and drinking, for too many years, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe back in the day they had
Well,
I was about to say maybe back in the day they
my
had the
dad-
good tobacco. They didn't.
Well, my dad was known to imbibe. Okay, he definitely got his drink on. From
Okay.
all that I hear about him. So
Okay.
the drinking must not. Maybe that increased his virility. What do I know?
Yeah.
But I mean, he was about
No.
54 when I was born.
Uh-huh. All right.
You know,
Mhm.
he kept trying till he got a girl.
Oh, he wanted a girl.
Oh yeah, he wanted another girl.
Okay.
Because at that point, my sister was living her life.
Yeah.
She was grown. She was out of the house, and my mother had 4 boys, so he wanted a little girl.
I understand. Yeah, this is
Sad thing
something.
is, he didn't get a chance to see me grow up.
Yeah. That part.
He probably would have beat the hell out of me, though.
Let's not
But they say I'm just like.
let's not speculate on the negative.
No, they say I'm just like him. I got a nephew. He's 54.
Uh-huh.
I think he just turned 54. The 6th of July. And he called me up because I called him and said, happy birthday, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, you okay, Auntie? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He said, yeah, because if anything happens to you, the family's going straight to shit. But I helped raise him. Because his daddy is the one that still likes to get high.
I understand.
And this nigga he'll be 72. He don't care.
You said he still like to get high, huh?
Yeah, he drink his drink.
Yeah.
I don't think he smokes weed no more, but he definitely drinks still. Yeah, I think it's a difference in the way we were raised and the difference in our parents' generation and the generations of today. I tend to stick more to the way I was raised.
Uh-huh.
I try to help raise my grandkids the best I can, but I'm strict with them. They don't get away with too much,
Mm-hmm.
But grandparents, you were talking about grandparents, beating their kids and stuff when we were coming up, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I still was mine a good whack, okay? Because I think that's part of the problem. The younger generations have become grandmothers younger.
Mm-hmm.
They still want to party. They still want to look like the girl, the round the way girl. They ain't got time to raise these kids. So the grandmothers sometimes let them go.
Mm-hmm.
They done raised theirs. I just got a call this morning from my 11-year-old. Grandma, can I come up Tuesday and stay till next Tuesday? I'm like, really? A whole week? I ain't ready for that.
Okay.
You were talking about the gay men, and
Yeah.
I said, I put in that when I grew up in the era where guys wore processed. Look at some old videos of the Temptations and stuff. They wore processed.
Uh-huh.
You really couldn't. Now I know maybe you didn't see any in Philly, but I did.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I wasn't denying that it happened. You know what I mean? I just know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Well, you grew up
imagine
in
seeing a
Germantown.
bunch
Tell
of
me
us
before
running
I say
around
it.
here looking like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but you grew up in Germantown, and a lot of things are different in different sections of the city. And I'm just going to say that because they are. They still are today. In my era, my brothers, they wore processes until my mother cut it out their hair because she came home and seen it. Like, what the heck are y'all doing? And maybe it was a gay thing. I don't know. Maybe she thought that's what they were doing, but she wasn't allowing it. I'm North Philly born and raised, so I done lived all over North Philly. So I've seen a lot of different stuff in a lot of different areas. And in North Philly, that's what they did. They gang wars. They wore processes, and that was a status symbol for some people in North Philly. Like guys go to the barbershop, get their beards done, they get the dye in their hair and dye their beards and all that there. Well, in my brother's days, they didn't go to the barbershop to get a haircut. They went and got their hair done. Like we go to a hair salon to get our hair done.
okay. So okay. In terms of how 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 our families were set up back in the day to what to how they're set up now. What would you say was the biggest difference that you can see and how you saw your family, other families around you, your peers, your friends or whatever? Like, what would you say was the things that stand out that makes the biggest difference between before and now?
I honestly will say that I think in my family, in my generation, our parents showed us a lot of love.
Okay.
And I say that because, and I'm not saying that parents today don't love their children, but sometimes they don't show it. Now, my parents' way of showing us their love was they nurtured us.
Mm-hmm.
They taught us. When I was coming up, I had to learn to cook at a young age. I have a granddaughter who's 23 years old and is just starting to cook. She never had an interest in trying to cook a meal, but she wanted you to cook for her.
Mm-hmm.
We were given, I think in our era, we were given the fundamentals of how to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, today, I don't think that that's there as much. I'm not going to say everybody because I have friends who definitely do that. And I have younger friends who definitely do that. They're all about their family. But there's a structure to the family now. Then everybody had a responsibility. Let me put it that way, from the youngest to the oldest.
Yeah.
The guys in the house had to do the trash. They had to do this. They had to do that. The girls were expected to keep the house clean, to cook, do laundry, and things like that. Not that the boys weren't taught that, but it was more the female's responsibility in the household. You were bred and raised to do that.
Okay. Hold on. Let me bring Rob on, and let me ask her what the biggest difference was. Rob, you still there?
Yeah.
All right. I need you to turn your TV down a little bit, or a lot.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right.
Hold on. I'm muted. Okay.
All right. So the same question that I asked the caller. What would you say the biggest difference is in the way that families are set up today when you were growing up than they are now? What would you say the biggest difference is that you can see?
First of all, we had unity, okay, in our household. In our household, yeah, the guys, they were taught that. Not only that, they were taught to take the trash out. The women were, we had to sweep, we had to do dishes and do all that. But I'm also say this too. A lot of cooking stuff we learned in school. In junior high school, in 7th grade, we learned how to make aprons. In 8th grade, we did lunches. And in the 9th grade, we was taught how to do like Thanksgiving. The teacher would do the turkeys and stuff, but we would do the vegetables. We don't have that now. It's a lot of things that we had back then that these kids don't have now. Not only that, back then, my grandfather would go down 9th Street every Sunday morning at 5 o'clock and get fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, fresh meat, and all that, like, because he was from down south. Sure. My grandmother, my mother, my aunt, they all had change of life babies. When I mean change of life babies, they were in their 40s. Okay. My grandfather, he was older than my grandmother.
Okay.
So, yeah. The men did, and it was the food. We wasn't getting this kind of food that we're getting now. But things now, it's just different. And coming up, we wasn't allowed to hang out in the streets. We weren't allowed to do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
We were mainly on a strict regimen. We had to be in by a certain time with my parents, my grandmother and them, whoever house we was at. When they had company, we couldn't sit downstairs up under them like these kids do today.
Mm-hmm.
Before the company came in, we had to go upstairs. We would be in a hallway looking down the steps. The only thing we could see was the people's feet. But nowadays, these kids, they sit up right up under these grown folks.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say that there are two things that I've noticed. I'm going to say there are two things from my perspective that seem to be big differences in the families that I saw when I was a little boy growing up and what I see now. The number one is that although there were a lot of households where women led households, it wasn't expected. You know what I'm saying? Like if a woman didn't have a man or a husband or whatever, and she was raising her kids, okay, we understood that and we respected that or whatever, but that wasn't what we expected. I think nowadays we don't expect to have no man in the house. We just don't expect it. I hate to say it, but we just don't really expect it. We expect more single family households headed by the woman, the mother of the family. You know what I mean? It seems to be the majority. That's the first thing. The second thing is that when I was growing up, whatever the father did for a living, a lot of the kids followed in his footsteps, especially the boys. And that's regardless of what he did. Like if he was a cop, more than likely his kids was going to be cops. You know what I mean? If he was a fireman, more than likely his kids was going to be firemen. If he worked in construction, more than likely his sons, whatever, they worked in construction, mechanical work, whatever. Whatever the father did for a living was usually an example for what the rest of the kids were going to do for a living. You know what I'm saying? He led the way, and even if they didn't do that for a living, they knew they had that in their field of abilities, like their skills. Like, yeah, my dad did cement work. That's why I know how to do cement work. Even though I don't do cement work for a living, but I know how to do cement work. Nowadays, I don't see that as much. I see it in some instances, but I don't see it as consistent as it was before. And I think that has a lot to do with the men being absent from the families nowadays. So,
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. Yeah, my grandfather was a farmer. And he grew a lot of vegetables. My grandmother, they grew vegetables. We always had a house with a big backyard. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather was part of the yard would be for vegetables. My grandfather also was taught as a young man, as a child, how to repair shoes. So when we were growing up, if we tore up our shoes, the sole, the heel, because we lived near a factory that was facing the back of the factory was facing our house, the front of our house. And they used to tan hides.
Okay.
So there was always leather and stuff. And my grandfather would take his walks and he'd go over there and he'd find strips of leather. I'm telling you, we were poor. The only time we got new shoes was when we outgrew them. Because my grandfather could put brand new sole and heel on your shoes and spit shine them and they look just like they came out the store.
Yeah,
so we got shoes when we outgrew
them. You sure made up for that in your life, didn't you, Miss?
Shut up. Shut up. That's because my pop ain't here no more to fix my shoes.
Am I still on the mic?
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna mute me because you got to the point where you start turning people off the mic. Okay.
No, I had because no. Your TV was too much noise in your background, so I had to.
Okay.
But you good. You good.
Okay. Now, what I'm gonna say about my grandparents is, my grandfather worked 2 jobs. He didn't want my grandmother to work at all. All he wanted my grandmother to do was stay home, raise the kids, cook, wash dishes, wash clothes, stuff like that. My grandfather would get up 3 a.m. to go to work. He worked at, what is it? Oh, God. What was that? What was that soda place back in the day?
Frank's.
Frank?
Frank.
Yeah,
he
Frank's.
Worked at Frank Soda.
Frank.
And he worked at the Daily News. Okay. My grandmother, she was the type that, I'm on the phone right now, excuse me. My grandmother was the one that once my grandfather would get up, he would leave to go to work and then go to a second job. And that time frame, my grandmother would go out and do days work. Okay?
Okay.
But my grandfather, he was the man, he supplied everything, unlike a lot of these guys are doing today.
But that's a different era because I think all of our parents and grandparents, the era that they came up in, that was the man's job to provide, protect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they didn't, my grandfather, I never remembered him really having a job, but I'm sure he did because he was always able to eat. I never knew. Now he would go out in the morning and he'd come home in the afternoon. And my grandmother would have, Southern people, she had supper, or whatever. But I never heard that he actually worked somewhere.
Okay.
I don't remember that. But I know that she didn't like Robert, she didn't have to work, but she would do 1 or 2 days of, day work. Yeah, where she would go and clean houses, but there was a benefit to that too, because usually our people that did that, they worked for people who were white, who had money, who spent money frivolously, and if the worker was good and they knew that they had a family, they would always give them stuff. So that was a bonus on top of the little bit of money that they got paid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a difference. Whereas your grandfather and my grandfather, because like he fixed our shoes, he fixed people's shoes in the neighborhood. He made money. But now today, that kind of work, that kind of craftsmanship has gone by the wayside.
They don't make shoes. They don't make shoes that you can really fix anymore.
Exactly. And the reason being is because the trade died out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Well, I think if they still made shoes like that, my brothers were broken. Now, I don't know if you know nothing about that, Omar, but my brothers were broken. My grandfather would put the taps on the toes and the heels to keep you from wearing them down. And like I said, they didn't close. I'm the youngest. My youngest brother was right over me. He was about 19 months older than me. When he outgrew his dungarees, because we didn't have jeans back then, they would put them on me. Stuff got passed down through the family. But families back then did what they had to do. Their children were well taken care of. They were well fed. And life was better.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be a child today if you paid me.
I hear that.
We have the dumbest children because and I say that respectfully because my kids are the same way. They're the electronic generation. We used to take milk crates and make scooters.
All the time.
We went outside. We went outside. We played. These kids don't know about outside. They don't know. They don't have an imagination where we could pick up something. We used to take pieces of bricks, draw lines on the street, get soda bottle tops, and we played tops.
And they
pack them with dirt. Played hopscotch, pack them with dirt so they had some weight. Then we slide them across the pavement.
We did some.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't have. They don't have the imagination. They got too many things that are man-made for them to do. And there is an advantage and a disadvantage to the electronic generation.
And the worst thing they came out was, I'm going to say this for these kids today. That is when they came out with these cell phones. Because these kids today, they know nothing about playing jump rope, doing jacks, doing hopscotch. They don't know nothing about.
We bought jacks last year, remember? And
yeah, I got my jack. I still got my jack.
I played with mine.
Yeah, I mean,
and I tried to teach for my granddaughter. She was like You know, my granddaughter was like, Mama, you actually put your hands on the ground to play jack? Yeah. I said, I'm still living, ain't I? Around. You know,
Yeah.
but I mean,
That's the COVID era.
that it's society. Society has changed a lot of things. You know, not for the sake of that I lost my parents at a young age, but I wish I could go back to simpler times. Life was good then.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have all the crazy stuff going on that we have today.
Listen, y'all.
I didn't feel no stress growing up.
Listen, y'all gonna be here.
Simple.
Y'all gonna be on here all day. We gotta get out of here.
No, because I'm getting ready to get. I gotta get out of here too. I'm going out.
Yeah, that was my idea.
I'm going out.
Okay,
well,
fine.
go out. You know, you're gonna have fun. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, y'all have the best day. I appreciate y'all calling in. I really do.
And you make sure you go see Miss Rosie Brown.
That's blue.
Blue.
That's blue.
Go see Miss Rosie. You ain't gotta go far to see Miss Rosie. You just take care of Miss Rosie.
I got you.
Absolutely.
I'll let y'all later, man. Get out of here.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Peace.
We know you love us.
Yeah, I do. That's the problem. Let me shut this mic off.
That's the problem.
Yo. All right. Yeah. All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 1st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Kwamdeen Buhari, turning 52 years old today, and Big Lonnie Felder, turning 55 years old today, and Aniska Strachan, turning 28 years old today, and Corey Sprood, turning 46 years old today, and Veronica Cash Vasquez, turning 30 years old today, and Danielle Kamen, happy birthday to you, and Latoti Lop, turning 44. Bow, 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 bow. 44 years old today, happy birthday, and Julianka Witherspoon, turning 50 years old today, 71. Hey, and Yolanda McDowell, turning 52 years old today, and Shalonda Burton, happy birthday to you. And my man Preach Thomas Sr., happy birthday to you. And Quaja Matthews, she's a girl, fireman. She's a fire lady, turning 51 years old today because she's a 1970 baby. Yeah, with the blonde, with the crazy. And also, Gregory Young, turning 47 years old today. And Keita Reed, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, Angelica Peacock. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious August 1st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it to the damn, to rock out, rock on it to the damn, rock out, rock on to the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, man, listen, family is family like family used to be family. Is your family set up the way, is your current family structured the way your family was set up when you were coming up? Does it matter? Is it better? Is it worse? Are you envious of how you grew up versus how you're raising your own children? Are your children already grown? Did they learn the lessons that you were able to learn from your parents? Are we giving our children of today and our families of today a fighting chance? Are we putting our families in position to win? Did we do it before? Will we do it later? Have we accepted the way families are set up nowadays? Nowadays, we have families set up girl on girl, man on man. They adopting children, having children from heterosexual activities and raising them that way. Is that all right with you? Is it okay? We good? Are we good? Well, nonetheless, whether we good with it or not, this is what we're dealing with. So the way my family is set up may be different than the way the next man's family may be set up. But hopefully you're satisfied with the result that you have. I want to say peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. I appreciate y'all all coming through. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way out. Make sure that you share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We will be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for another daily go-getterism show. So make sure y'all come through with that. For that. So for my blog talkers, let me get you on out of here.
Thank you for
Bye-bye.
using Blog Talk
And
Radio.
for my
Goodbye.
Instagrammers, Fire Slammer Jammers, thanks for coming on through and let me kick my grammar. And for my YouTubers, y'all know just what the do, but I holler back at all y'all.